This commentary will take you through the photographs and diagrams from all of the media text articles in the pre-release booklet. It will point out which aspects of the images to discuss in an exam answer if you are asked about any of them, and it's fairly likely you will be. So what might you be asked? Well, previous questions have nearly always asked about images. One bullet point from the question may ask you to comment on one or more image or diagram. You will need to write about what makes the picture effective or interesting. Refer to the image for evidence just like you would quote words and phrases to make a point about language. When writing about images, remember that the part of the question will only be worth a small number of the available marks, so spend a maximum of about 10 minutes responding to it. Okay, let's look at all the images and discuss each one in turn. The first image is on page 4 from the article BA Scraps its Sandwiches in Hunger for Savings. When asked about images like this one, which is actually a diagram, you should also comment on the text and layout of the image. The first thing to mention here is the heading Mile High Grub, which is a rhyming play on words of the well-known phrase Mile High Club. Next is the flying sandwich, which in this case is designed to look like it's taking off, thus linking in with the content of the headline and article. It's partly a comical image, as the speed lines convey the idea the sandwich is moving fast as it takes off, and the runway below adds to the humour. It's also a colourful image, which attracts the eye of the reader. You should also comment on the way the information is organised. Bullet points are used to make the info easy to process. British Airways is printed in red to show it's the most important, with the other 3 airlines organised in a line below for comparison with BA and each other. The writer has also used clipped English to keep the info concise. For example, sandwiches off the menu could have read sandwiches are off of the menu, but some pronouns and non-essential words are missed out to keep it punchy and brief to read. The next image from Do a Pig a Favour, Ban Vegetarianism Now on page 5 is another slightly comical image, as the pig has almost come up to the camera to say hello. It clearly links in with the headline of the article and helps suggest to the reader that the article will be a debate about meat eaters and vegetarians. We are also supposed to feel sympathy for the pig because he appears cute and friendly. The overall tone of the picture is positive and healthy, as the pig has been photographed in a lush green field on a bright sunny day. This puts the idea of eating meat in a positive way, and it reflects Giles Corran's opinions in the article. The third image is on page 6 from Jack Spratt, Fair Trade Food, It Just Tastes Better. This is a picture of someone holding a pile of coffee beans, which are fresh and presumably have just been picked. The colours here are healthy and vibrant, reds and greens, and this helps to back up the writer's opinion that fair trade food tastes better. There is also the idea that the farmers who produce fair trade food really care for their produce because the person is holding them in their hands. This works in the same way as saying that something is handmade. It gives the impression that time and effort has gone into making a quality product. The purpose of the image is therefore to help persuade you to buy fair trade because it tastes good. The next image, from If Jamie Oliver Can't Change Our Eating Habits, Who Can, on page 7, instantly draws attention to the article because we recognise Jamie Oliver himself. The image shows Oliver serving up fresh, healthy salad to school children, so straight away the reader will understand that this article is probably about his Healthy School Dinners campaign. The doubt about the campaign's success from the headline, however, is also reflected in the photo by the body language of the different children. The girl he is serving seems to be about to enjoy her food, but the boy to Oliver's left is looking unsure and he is leaning away from the salad as though he doesn't like it. This image therefore conveys the idea that Jamie Oliver has not completely solved the problem of getting children to eat healthily. The Food for Uganda article on page 8 shows Ugandan children collecting water from a borehole or well. This is where water is deep down in the ground and so does not evaporate in the heat of the sun. This links in with the article because if irrigation was being properly used in Uganda, there would be no need to fetch water from wells. The children are clearly very poor. You can tell this from their clothes, which look second-hand, possibly donated, and dirty. The boy in the background is also sitting on a very old bicycle. They are not wearing shoes. The containers which they are going to collect water in are stained yellow and dirty, which raises the issue of health and hygiene in this country. Despite all of this, however, the children are smiling and look happy, so this shows their courage and determination in the face of difficulties. In this way, the reader feels sympathy with the children and is more likely to support the writer's opinions in the article itself. The image from the Junk Food Dummies article on page 9 has a much more humorous tone to it. It shows an older teenager or young man eating a huge greasy burger. The man's eyes make him look crazy, and the fact he's got his mouth wide open makes him look as though he's going to try and eat the burger in one bite. This is clearly not possible and makes the reader think he's unintelligent. This of course links in with the article's headline and main points. The burger is ridiculously huge and looks really greasy and disgusting. There is lots of burger and very little salad to make it look unhealthy. the photo is biased against junk food and tries to persuade the reader, especially young people, that it will affect their intelligence. There are 4 images on page 10 for the article Mary's Meals in Nairobi, Kenya. If you're asked about these images, you'll probably need to mention them all unless it's mentioned otherwise. Keep your comments about each one concise and focused, and this will help you to manage your time properly. The top image shows the charity workers for Mary's Meals filling the pupils' mugs with porridge. The vat they are using is very large, suggesting many children need feeding. Conditions are poor, which makes us feel sympathy for them. The second photo is a close-up of the children queuing for food. Notice their mugs and bowls are basic and are likely to have been donated by Western charities. They wait patiently in line, showing they are well behaved. Their uniforms are neat and tidy, even if they don't quite match, showing that they know the importance of looking smart, even when they're poor. The third picture features the children eating their porridge, and the boy in the centre seems to be enjoying it. There are many children pictured here, which makes the reader think that the charity helps an awful lot of hungry children in Kenya. The final image gives us an overview of what the city of Nairobi is like. Houses and buildings are made of corrugated iron and whatever else people can get their hands on. It's clearly an area of the world with widespread poverty. Together, the photos elicit sympathy and admiration in the reader for the children, and they give a very positive impression of the work the charity does in a challenging place with very limited resources. The main image on the final article on page 11, Scientists Dig Up Fresh Doubts About Going Organic, shows some fresh carrots. We're not sure whether or not they are organic though. Despite this, they look fresh and healthy, which helps the reader to understand what the article will be about. Considering the article tries to cast doubt on organic produce, you could argue that the dirt all over the carrots does make them slightly less appealing. There are also 2 diagrams on this page which you may be asked about. First, the table at the bottom of the page gives the reader a basic idea of what organic means, with the information organised into helpful bullet points written in clipped, concise English. The columns on the right allow the reader to compare the prices of organic and non-organic food. In each example, organic is more expensive, so this backs up the writer's opinion. The columns are colour-coded to help with the comparison. The whole table is coloured using greens and oranges, which are colours we associate with farming and the environment. The strip of facts to the right of the page looks like a receipt from a supermarket, and the reader's eye is drawn by the large typeface of the percentages. A relevant picture is used to break up the text. The statistics show that organic food is a huge business that makes a lot of money. Again, the colours used are related to farming and the environment, and the text is written using concise language which keeps the facts short and brief. Both the table and the strip on the right avoid the need for the writer to include all of this information in her article, which would have made it very hard work to read. So in summary, what should you write about? First, write about what the picture shows. You could also mention how it links in with the headline and the text. Remember that the job of a picture is to raise interest in the reader and get them reading the main text, so you should consider the tone of the image. For example, is it serious or light-hearted? Depending on the content of the image, you should write about people and their appearance, faces and body language. You could also mention the use of colour, because these symbolise mood, themes and ideas. Always refer to the images for evidence, just like you would use quotes to refer to the written word. We'll end with an example image analysis. Here's a typical way you might be asked to comment on a photo in your exam. Question. Write about the photo from the article Junk Food Dummies on page 9. What makes it effective? Here is a good response. Answer. This image shows a young man eating a huge burger. It is effective because it has a humorous tone which interests the reader. The man's expression makes him look crazy or stupid, with his mad eyes and mouth wide open, as though he is trying to eat the massive burger in one bite. The burger itself is ridiculously huge and looks really greasy and disgusting, with lots of meat and very little salad. The photo is biased against junk food and those who eat it, just like the article and the headline, which both suggest junk food makes you less intelligent. Hope you found this video useful. Please see the PortchesterSchool YouTube channel for more videos on the media text and also all 8 poems from the pre-release booklet. Thanks for watching and good luck.